What would you like to see happen in the MCU's first Blade movie? And what in the hell was going on in Jordan Peele's new Nope trailer? And what cool idea is one of the co-directors of Into the Spider-Verse working on next? I'm going to let you know all that and more right about now.
He doesn't really make those types of when, you're not the blockbuster type of guy.
Welcome to Blurred Insights, the show where we celebrate genre entertainment from a blurred perspective. I'm your host, James George, and I'm going to be delivering hot fire takes about things that catch my eye out there in the blurdosphere. So let's talk about some news. Let's get into it. We recently had Jordan Peele's trailer for the film Nope. That's how you gotta say it, Nope. Dropped recently. And in true Jordan Peele fashion, it shows you everything and nothing. It shows you what you got in store, but not really. You don't know what's going on. And I just think it's wonderful that there can still be a trailer that is made that doesn't tell you the whole damn movie.
Yeah, nah. Run!
Beginning, middle, and end. I can't tell you how many movies I'm like, I'm pretty sure that huge special effect was something that they were saving for the third act. And lo and behold, I watched the movie and, there it is. And where's my excitement? It ain't there. Because I saw it in the at the house when I watched the trailer. So I admire the fact that even though it's a teaser, it's not the true trailer. It's a teaser, but still, it teased your ass. Thank you for the tease. I don't want to know everything, sir. And I know that his movies are so darn layered. I'm gonna have to, you got to finish college before you go see a Jordan Peele movie, man. You can't just watch it. It's academic. Pretty soon you're gonna have to show your transcripts before they let you in the theater. The next time I go to the theater, I'm gonna have an ascot on and a cup of Earl Grey. I'm going to learn things on a scholarly level. This isn't for entertainment. This is smart. No, it's layered. And if you think about it, the best way, that's probably a real good way to make money from your movie. You cram it with layers so that people got to go see the shit 19 times to figure out everything. I'm sure there's people like, I got to go see Us again because I just read a blog post that said the two bunnies at the end that are facing apart from one another really represent the conflicting ideologies of Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. So I got to see it again, man. I missed it. And then I got to go order the digital copy because somebody told me if you watch it in the mirror from the other room and then you play it backwards, Lupita Nyong'o will tell you next week's lotto numbers. So I got to watch it 19 times, man. There's so much going on in their movies, man. It's a lot happening. And that's mastery level. I'm joking around, but that is mastery level to be able to tell a story that is entertaining and scary and visceral, but still be able to cram a whole lot of social commentary in it. And I'm looking forward to it. What else did I get from it? I like the fact that just like with Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke in Us and Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield and Lil Rel in Get Out, he's putting people in the forefront who usually don't get an opportunity to be in a big, major movie. That is very cool. We didn't see Keke Palmer in our lives on our television sets for years, and for her to get front and center in a major movie where she's able to do her thing is wonderful. It's a mysterious setting, like a used car lot, and Jordan Peele's going with aliens now, which is interesting because when I was watching it, it reminded me of M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. And it's his third major studio movie, and Signs was M. Night Shyamalan's third studio movie. And in my opinion, because my man M. Night then got kind of wacky, Signs is still his best. And I wonder how much of those aesthetics Jordan Peele is going to take. Because with Aliens, you can do a lot. Aliens, you can have horror, you can have sci-fi, you can have fantasy, and you can have the social commentary. Now, Signs didn't have a lot of social commentary, but there's a lot of theories that, especially if you check out the movie Horror Noir on Shudder, it talks about the idea that a lot of horror movies that came out, horror and sci-fi movies that came out in the 60s were really like subconscious. The monsters from those movies were manifestations of people's subconscious fear of all the civil rights changes that were going on at the time. So you weren't really scared of the octopus from space. You were scared of the black dude from around the corner. It would be interesting to see if Jordan Peele goes there with this story. But I know he's gonna bring it, and I'm pumped for it. And why is Daniel Kaluuya so buff? He's been looking kind of yoked in all his movies lately. Have y'all noticed that? Did you sign on to play in a reboot of Action Jackson and you just can't tell nobody? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna keep you posted. Let's move on. All right. Here's the next story. This is a project I'm actually very excited about. Peter Ramsey. You may not know his name as a household name, but you know what he's done. He's one of the co-directors of Into the Spider-Verse, one of the coolest Academy Award-winning animated movies to come out in some time. Even if you're not into animated movies, if you're into a fun time watching a movie, please do yourself a favor and go see Into the Spider-Verse. It's all kinds of wonderful representation. The style of the animation is different. It's even a little jarring at first, but once you just let the movie flow over you and just accept the world and accept the way that it tells a story. And if you just kind of sink in and let the movie do its thing, you are really gonna have a good time. And so when I found out that this director had another project lined up, I was excited. And it turns out Peter Ramsey is going to direct and write a vampire thriller called Blood Count from Paramount Pictures. And it's dubbed a film noir social thriller set in 1950s Los Angeles with supernatural elements. I'm in. Now, could this project be a ripple effect of Lovecraft Country causing a lot of attention for these type of stories? Even though it was canceled, it was still talked about and kind of made its stamp in the media before it got canceled. So I wonder if this project is something that came about people realizing the popularity of black horror. And I love the fact that it's a period piece and it's vampires. Vampires are never gonna get out of style. And it's a period piece set in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles has a whole lot of hidden, it's damn near hidden, a lot of black history and lore that have to do in the beginnings of Los Angeles. And Los Angeles has a lot of black history tied into its past that isn't talked about a lot. And it's gonna be very cool that this movie sort of goes into that and gives us a little historical stuff along with some good, hopefully horror. Some good vampire shit, man. That's what I'm looking for. And another thing I like is that this project is personal to Ramsey because it said it's loosely based off the life of his jazz musician father. And so he could have, off the strength of Into the Spider-Verse, he could have just jumped on in some kind of genre movie. He could have done a Marvel movie. He could have done something else for Disney. Could have done, a Fast and the Furious movie, whatever. And I'm sure they would have been fine. But it's really cool that he got to do something genre specific, black and personal. And I love the fact that he had already wrote the script. I love the fact that he pulled a Funky Finger Productions. They was like at the party, hey man, what are you gonna do next? Oh man, I ain't really got nothing. Bam! In his face. He held it in the producer's face like this. Read the script. Rolled it up, threw it at him. Read it and call me, and left the party. I know that's not what happened, but that's the way I want to see it in my head. So, Peter Ramsey, congratulations, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking out Blood Count and Paramount. I'll be looking out for the teaser for the teaser for the trailer for the teaser, then the teaser, then the teaser, then the trailer, then the movie. I'm gonna watch them all. Congrats, bro. All right, folks. We're coming up on my favorite segment of the show. This is the list. And this list is very near and dear to my heart. I'd like you to take a journey back with Young G to 1998. Young G was going to the mall, ran into a friend of mine. She happened to be a female. She said, "What are you doing?" Well, I asked her, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm shopping." She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to the movies." She said, "What are you going to see?" I said, "I'm going to see Blade." And she said, she giggled. You know why? Because a grown-ass dude going to see a comic book movie was still a little taboo. It was still somebody, somebody might kind of give you a little side eye. What's wrong with this dude? Why is he hanging out with chillins? Why is he hanging out with the cheering? Keep your eye on him. Because comic book movies weren't necessarily mainstream. You had Batman. That was, had any of the Spider-Mans come out by then? Nah, you just had Batman. And that could have been a fluke. People still weren't taking comic book movies seriously. So she sniggled and giggled and walked away. Now imagine in 2022, a guy is in the mall saying he's gonna go see the next Blade movie. Now the girl gives him a high five. Hell yeah, I'm changing my plans. I'm going in to see you I'm going to see this movie with you. You're cool because you're going to see Blade. Now somebody gets high five. I got sniggled at. But the reason why the guy going to see the movie now gets the high five is because of the 1998 classic film Blade. It was groundbreaking. It was really the first serious entry into the MCU. Blade is the early grandfather of the MCU movies. It's not an official, that movie isn't an official MCU movie, but it was definitely the forebearer, and it proved that a comic book movie has an audience, period. You don't have Iron Man and Captain America, T'Challa. You don't have those without the Daywalker.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
So now, we're going to get a brand new MCU version of Blade. And the first movie, the second movie was good, the third one, we're not gonna talk about. The first movie was so groundbreaking. I think there are some key things that this new movie needs to do in order for it to even hold a candle to the first movie. Number one, I hope they keep the same, well, not the same, but number one, I hope they have a very distinctive, striking visual style for Blade. Because one thing about the first two Blade movies is whether you liked them or not, visually, they stood out. And one complaint that a lot of people have about modern MCU movies is they kind of look the same. They're kind of lit the same. The production design, the colors they use has a kind of sameness. I could see that argument. I think there's enough distinctiveness between movies that it doesn't bother me, but I do understand that argument. And so one cool thing that this new Blade movie could do is have a very distinct, striking visual style. And that would sort of also kind of separate it a little bit from the other MCU movies, because I think Blade might be a little bit more adult-oriented. I know it's MCU. I know it ain't gonna be nowhere near as raw as the first Blade is. I don't think in this new Blade movie, one of the villain's main henchmen is going to be getting oral sex at a club in the beginning of the movie. I don't see that being on Disney Plus. It's not going to be as raw and hardcore as the first movie. But I would hopefully like to see it be a little bit more edgy, a little darker in tone, not as bouncy and quippy, a little more gnarly and bloody and intense and kind of dark themed. I would like that, and I think that's good for something to sort of differentiate itself from the other tone of the other MCU movies. The number two thing that I want the new MCU Blade movie to have that the first one got perfect was making things contained and epic at the same time. Because if you think about the original Blade, all the action was kind of done in secret, in underground clubs, in meat markets, in secret libraries, in hidden temples. All this action stuff was going on like under the nose of the public. And I like that because it's the same, another complaint with the Marvel movies that they all, pretty much get super big and epic and all that. And that's one of my complaints with the Marvel movies. All this stuff that's going on, people aren't kind of freaked out by that. Like, I always expected there to be a subplot in a Marvel movie, that has to do with some religious cult that sprung up because aliens attacked New York. Like, I get people are resilient, but I feel like if all this wacky stuff was going on, there would be more negative repercussions in society with people. I think people would kind of lose it a little bit. And so, to me, one way to kind of get around that is to have all the action and stuff happen, like I said, under people's noses. They don't even know. They're going to work, living their lives, doing their thing, and the fate of the world is being decided by a vampire hunter right under the surface. Because that's what happened in the first movie. This, Deacon Frost, the main villain, was about to raise an ancient blood god who was going to, sweep over the earth and make everybody a vampire. Now, if Blade would have lost, we would have known about it. I would have been sitting up watching TV and then, I'm a vampire. They can have the big world stakes like Marvel movies love to have, big worldwide affecting stakes, but you can still keep it contained at the same time. So you get the epic and you get the contained, and you don't have to have the shots of, a city full of people running down the street. Ah! It doesn't have to affect the world all the way. You can imply that the world will be affected by what's happening without really having to show it. And that also helps tighten down the budget. The fate of the world is going to be held in this warehouse. I'm cool with that as long as the action is good. So keep it epic, but contained. All right, folks. I know you've heard the term save the best for last. Well, that's exactly what I've done right now. I have saved the best, the most important thing that the MCU needs to copy from the original Blade. And that is to include a great ally/sidekick character for Blade. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, wasn't that Whistler? No. No, Whistler is more of a mentor character. I'm not talking about Whistler. I am talking about the great Dr. Karen Johnson, played wonderfully by N'Bushe Wright, character conceived wonderfully by the screenwriter David S. Goyer, was everything that you could want in a ally character. And can I just say, why can't we have been having more N'Bushe Wright on the screen, on TV? How come she doesn't have her own TNT series where she's chasing down terrorists or kidnappers or whatever on its 12th season? You got the closer. How many seasons does that have? Rizzoli and Isles? How was that? That was on for like 15 years. You had Rizzoli, where's N'Bushe? Give her her own show. She probably ain't aged. Let her be. She can kick somebody down the stairs now. She can still be a hero. Get her on a show, man. Because she's talented, and this movie showed Blade, the original Blade showed that she's more than capable. So anyway, that's a whole nother issue. The use of the allied character is important in any movie, but especially like a fantasy or action movie, because you got to do a lot of explaining the rules of the world. What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? You know, it's the world isn't overrun by vampires in real life, so we think. So you have to walk the audience through everything, all the rules, all that needs to happen. And the great way that you do that is you have the allied character who is the audience surrogate. So when Blade has to walk her around and explain, this is the Vampire Bible, here are the rules, sunlight kills you, silver kills you, crosses don't do nothing with Whistler. In effect, they're telling that to the audience. They're telling it to the allied character, who's the audience surrogate, who's the normal person in this world of all these crazy people. And we're seeing it through her eyes. We want to see it through Blade's eyes, but we're really seeing it through the normal person's eyes. A lot of times that allied character is just somebody to do wisecracks or just be saved, and in general, be annoying. I don't know about you, but I have been through many a movie where it's just that sidekick character is like, ooh, I kind of don't mind if you get killed, you know? But the cool thing about Karen Johnson is it was almost like she was created to be the antithesis of the usual tropey, stereotypical damsel in distress character design. For one, she had her own backstory. Even before the movie even started, she was doing her own thing. She's a hematologist. She was at work, working on her project, whatever hematologists do, splash blood around, I don't know. She was doing her thing, looking through the microscope, curbing her ex-boyfriend, who was still trying to get at her. So she had her own existence. She wasn't even tripping that how cool is that? How chill are you that you work with the dude? You still work with somebody you used to smash, and they trying to get back with you, and she's just like, we're over. Hey, pass me that slide right there. Pass me that microscope. Okay, goodbye. And the dude looked a little musty. The bougie looked a little too clean for the dude. And so anyway, she was her own person. When the vampires started happening and Blade saved her life and took her away, she tried to escape a little bit, but for the most part, she sat her ass down when she realized what was going on. Oh, vampires are real. Oh, this guy saved me. Oh, he tells me if I turn, I'm gonna kill your ass too. Okay. I feel like a lesser movie would have still had her spending too much time trying to escape, trying to just be rebellious. But no, Karen Johnson was chill. She assessed the situation and quickly determined that, hey, Blade, next to your ass is where I need to be. Mr. Leather Jacket sticking out your sword. Mr. Sword sticking out your leather jacket. This is where I need to be with you. Look at all the things that she did. Look all the ways that she was used within the story. She started to immediately work on a way to cure Blade of his thirst for blood. So she's making herself useful in the plot. She's not just sitting around looking at stuff. Well, let me go to this address because I'm bored and I'm curious. Oops, I'm trapped. Nah. She said, let me help Blade. And when they did get captured, what did she do? She saved her damn self. Black woman ain't got time to be waiting on no dude to save her. She saved her damn self. They threw her ass in the pit with the zombified version of her ex-boyfriend that she curbed. Now, that's some horror shit right there. But did she let that stop her? No. She curbed his ass again, and she beat him to death with a thigh bone. It was a bunch of skeletons down in the pit that they threw her in, and she took a damn thigh bone. See, the ambulance didn't need her. She didn't need no ambulance. Karen Johnson do things her damn self. She took the thigh bone, whacked his ass on the head again. So if he looked musty then, he definitely looked musty now as a zombie. He said, "You funky." I don't know what your draws look like. Bam, beat him to death, then used the thigh bone and climbed up out the pit with the thigh bone. Boss shit. And then she wasn't done. When she got out the pit, she helped Blade, who got his ass captured, looking for his mama, helped Blade after he broke out, let him drink from her, which in its own was a huge step forward in their relationship. Their relationship was platonic as hell before she let him drink from him. They had like 3 conversations, and 2 of them were about how he was going to kill her if she turned into a vampire. So they weren't at that level. But she was just like, come on, baby, come get some of this and go save the world. Dr. Karen Johnson. And since she recharged Blade and she created the weapon that he ended up using to kill Frost, and she killed Frost's girlfriend, guess what? You put all those together, what does that equal? Karen Johnson saved the world. Dr. Karen Johnson saved the world. And those are all things that were done by an allied character, a character that's basically there to motivate the hero and to explain everything that's going on in the world. That character did not have to be written so multidimensionally. Usually those characters aren't, especially if they're a sister. A lot of times they're not. But they made her well-rounded, and the movie was so much better for it. And the new MCU Marvel movie is going to be so much better if they include that vital element. And that's a strong ally. Hey, the Marvel universe now is all about strong, capable women. WandaVision introduced a new character, a new strong sister. I'll have to look up her the name of the character and the actor, Tiana Paris, I think her name is. And so this is just a wonderful new character. You got the character who plays it. You got Shuri, you got Captain Marvel, you got the new Black Widow, the new Hawkeye. You got all these strong women. Hey, add Dr. Karen damn Johnson to the mix. And you know what I say? Getting the bougie right back in the movie. She probably ain't aged, so just have her play the same damn character. All right, well listen, I done got myself worked up and I done gone over a lot of things today, so we're gonna call it a show. I wanna thank producer Sean for all the hard work he does on the show. I had a great time. Hey, listen, if there's anything that you agree with, don't agree with, something that you add, something that I missed, let me know in the comments. Let me know. You think I'm a genius? Great. I am not afraid to accept any positive assessment of me. However far-fetched, I don't care. So if you think I'm a genius, great. If you think I'm a fool, keep it to yourself. Now, you can disagree. I don't care. I want an open dialogue. This show is supposed to be all about fun. As long as everybody stays nice and cool and celebrates genre entertainment, that's what we're all about. So for DIY Hollywood Productions and conjunction with Innovision Films, I'm Jerence George. This has been Blurred Insights. We will see you again next time.